Yes, and we could see the potential for hail this afternoon. In fact, I wouldn't be shocked if one of these cells, I'm just going to highlight here in Ontario, already has some big hail. The radar is indicating 2-inch hail. So that would be, I guess, ping pong ball size. And that area is just west of Base Borden, Angus, all pushing sort of in an easterly direction, maybe north-northeast. These are moving fairly quickly, too. I'd say around 40, 50 kilometers per hour. And you can see this line of thunderstorms. This is all along a frontal boundary, and it's cold air that's moving in, not super cold, but enough to trigger these storms. You can see it's just popping up sort of like a line, but they are discrete enough and isolated enough that we're really keeping an eye on the possibility of any rotation in these storms. Again, that Angus, Barrie region, still southwest of you, Barrie, but all of this is heading toward you, north of Orangeville, through Shelburne, north of Bradford. All very active weather going on and very strong thunderstorms. So I'd love to hear from you, Jaclyn Whittal, TWN, on Twitter. If you want to send me a tweet with an update, I'd love to hear from you. Severe thunderstorm watch, pretty widespread all the way into eastern Ontario. Today, isolated severe threat. Non-severe right into tomorrow afternoon. However, I know it's a long weekend, so everybody's saying, wait a minute, what's going on in Ontario heading up to the cottage? Most of the country is going to be fairly calm. In fact, up through cottage country tomorrow, if you're headed up to the cottage in Ontario at least, it's going to be nice. Through the prairies, it's going to be nice as well, but we have that non-severe thunderstorm potential right through the next few days, pretty well widespread through the prairies in Ontario. West Coast, Vancouver topping out about 29 degrees this afternoon. All right, it's going to be nice. East Coast, you are still dealing with a little bit of rain in Newfoundland, but that's about all. Good weekend setting up and hot for you. Just northwest of Shackleton, here's a severe thunderstorm that was warned, but no longer warned at this time. We'll keep you posted with this, plus your Long Ranger. That's still ahead this hour. Carrier, thank you so much for sending that into the Weather Network. Always want to remind people that when you have your smartphone, turn it horizontally. It's a better look on TV, and it's much easier for us to put it on air for you, but we love your video coming in. Also, if you live in Ontario, before we get into these severe thunderstorm warnings now, want to mention that you can download our Beat the Traffic, BTT, app for any traffic updates while you're heading up to the cottage, or really, to deal with that Skyway problem that's still ongoing and will be over the weekend. So kind of a big story here in Ontario. Here's the other big story in Ontario, and then we're going to get to the rest of the nation. We now have a severe thunderstorm warning for Newmarket, Uxbridge, Mount Forest, Orangeville, Shelburne, Innisfil, Hanover, Lindsay, and Peterborough City. That's Peterborough City, Lakefield, southern Peterborough County. All of these storms triggered by a cold front starting to show signs of possibility of intense hail. That's the one that's just pushing east into some of these areas I had mentioned. So Newmarket, Orangeville, Shelburne, Innisfil, all those regions are going to see a lot of this heavy rain and possibility of hail. Now, as far as the tornadic threat, fairly low. I was just looking at some observations with one of our meteorologists, Brett Soderholm here, and no, it doesn't look like it's a favorable environment. That's great news. Keep in mind, up to 400 right now, along with that severe thunderstorm watch, both today and tomorrow is going to be jam-packed, and we have that non-severe thunderstorm potential into tomorrow as well. So keep it slow, take it easy. And then let's go to the prairies, because your weekend is also going to be similar with that non-severe thunderstorm potential setting up. But watching this cell move southeast into Shackleton, it was severe warned earlier, just says it was southwest of Kindersley. Now those severe thunderstorms warnings have ended. Here's a look at the watch, though. Wadena down through Swift Current. Again, I mentioned right through today into tomorrow, but the better chance of that severe weather down towards southern Saskatchewan and in the foothills. That's going to be a repeat of what we saw yesterday. Big hail. Seasonal right across the country, West Coast. Have a great weekend. It's going to be beautiful. It's a busy travel weekend, and it's August 1st, and what do we have? 'Tis the season. Lots of thunderstorm activity in southwestern Ontario. I'm meteorologist Jaclyn Whittal. You saw my Twitter name at the bottom of the screen. If you can give me a tweet on an update with some of these storms, I'd love to hear from you folks. This is all just about to cross over the 400 soon, so that means that Innisfil area east of the 400, and then west of that, so Alliston, Orangeville, you're looking like you're in the clear for now, but there's lots of new discrete cells starting to pop up. mostly working its way up toward the Barrie, Angus, I guess just east of there. So once we cross over the lake, maybe Keswick in the next hour or two. But yeah, certainly some heavy rain, possibility of some hail in this one that is going to be moving through Alliston probably next. We have no confirmations on major hail, but radar indicated about 2-inch hail. So that could be as much as ping pong ball size. These storms are severe warned at the time. Newmarket, Uxbridge, Mount Forest, Orangeville, Shelburne, Innisfil, Hanover, Lindsay, and Peterborough City, Lakefield, southern Peterborough County. Storms are moving at about 40 to maybe 50 kilometers per hour, depending on the cell, all in sort of that, I'd say, east-northeast direction. Severe thunderstorm watch, pretty widespread. Today and tomorrow, we could be seeing that non-severe risk, but today isolated severe risk. We had severe thunderstorm warnings through the prairies, just in and around, just south of Kindersley, I guess. But now all of that has been lifted, although these storms do seem to be sort of pulsing up and down, getting stronger, getting weaker. Could see more of the same as what we saw yesterday. Major hail through the foothills, severe thunderstorm watch in effect for that. And then right through the better part of Saskatchewan. We have that. And then the risk today and tomorrow for that severe weather. We'll be keeping you updated. Plus a look at your long range forecast that's on the way. Visit us. All of this about to change, folks. We are watching a line of severe thunderstorms. In fact, we have numerous warnings that I want to get to. I'm meteorologist Jaclyn Whittal. There's a storm that's headed to the 401 eastbound, so Oshawa, Bowmanville, those areas that has major hail. Not only are you seeing the purple color here on this radar, which means it's maxed right out in terms of its reflectivity. You see when it gets into that white, it's indicating ice. That's the radar that's reflecting off the hailstones back to the radar. So if anyone has an update, love to hear from you. If you're eastbound on the 401, obviously you're not watching me on TV, but if you're watching me and you know someone in that area, let them know. This is all a cold front that takes us all the way down now to what looks to be becoming a severe storm down in southwestern Ontario. So Chatham, Essex County, severe thunderstorm watches are widespread. Isolated severe threat today into Saturday, not near as bad. If you're heading up to the cottage, you're probably in the clear. You could see a pop-up thunderstorm or two. Just a recap of some of those warnings in Ontario. Watford, Strathroy, London, Caledon, Vaughan, Pickering, Stratford, Listowel, Kitchener, Guelph, Newmarket, Uxbridge, Mount Forest, Orangeville, Shelburne, Innisfil, Lindsay, Hanover. Now to the prairies. I'd mentioned in the last hour many times on air that these storms were starting to pulse up and down. That means they become weaker on radar and then they become stronger. They are becoming stronger now. So from Elrose down towards the south, Rosetown included in that. You are all under a severe thunderstorm warning yet again. This is just north of Swift Current. So Lasadena, I hope I said that right. Victories, RM of Saskatchewan, RM of Swift Current, RM of Excelsior, RM of Morse, and Cooley and Latonia. This, to me, looks like the potential for what we call straight line winds. This looks like something called a bow echo signature on radar. I'll be keeping you posted. I'll keep an eye on this system, and I'd love to hear from you again if you have any updates for me. Severe thunderstorm watches in the foothills. Yesterday we saw tennis ball-sized hail. As active weather continues in the prairies, it is nothing but blue skies, hot and dry on the west coast. Enjoy 29 degrees today, Vancouver. Stay with us.